The following is a review of the comic. A review only. And doesn't mean that I want to sleep with any of the creators involved. I mean, I'm not trying to get a job at Marvel or DC. If you think that's the case, however, you can kindly do a 180 degree and go check yourself in at the nearest psychiatric facility. Also, the quality of this video is really low. So if you're expecting higher standards, go check out someone else, like your friendly neighborhood psychology nerd. Because here, what you see is what you get. Thank you, and please enjoy this very, very unbiased review.
Hey guys, StarCraft here. Continuing on with my whole The End series of videos. It's going to be another one that's not an official The End. Mostly because aside from the one-shots, I really only have one left. And that one's going to take quite a while to go through. But this one, while it has 8 issues, it's going to go by breezingly because it's Brian Michael Bendis, so you know it's mostly wordy than it is anything substance. But that's Daredevil, End of Days. A long-standing project that's way too long to get out the door. But, yeah, let's just dive right in. As it opens up with Matt Murdock, Daredevil, getting beaten the hell out by Bullseye, his long-standing enemy, who is just knocking him around. Eventually he says, like, I'm gonna miss you, I really am. And then Matt's last word is just Mapone, I believe is how you say it, which causes Bullseye to flinch before jabbing Daredevil's own billy club right into its head, quite gruesomely. As it basically then said, and this is from Ben Urich saying, for all the good Matt Murdock has done these people, all the lives he saved, all that he gave of himself, end of the day, Hell's Kitchen just stood there and watched him die. Yep. As we're sorry. As at the Daily Bugle, we're seeing how just things are just going downhill there. It's basically just so bare minimum for people. But Shona eventually tells Ben, you're on the case. But Ben makes it very clear, you know, I know what they're gonna say. What who's gonna say? I've covered everything that's ever happened in the city. The Kree-Skrull War, the Avengers disassembling, the House of M, the Civil War, Xavier's Rebellion, the Baxter Building murders. Wait, what were those last two? I've covered every story and I know exactly how these people are going to react. Which is indifferences or denials. Like, I don't care. Nope. Oh, good Lord. Nothing to see. Nope, nope. But then there's one guy saying, oh yeah, I was there. As they see that, he admits that, no, this guy admits he's a fan. He asks, what do you think those last words were? He's like, what last words? And eventually he tells Ben about the whole Mapone thing. What does that mean? And Ben even asks, maybe it was his sled, obviously representing Citizen Kane. Hold on a second. Sorry about that, trying to fix the lighting here. But yeah, then afterwards we then start to get a bit of a summary of Matt's history and everything. You know, accident, losing his father, fighting crime. But then eventually things really got out of hand as Matt eventually again tried to keep his life going. He really did. But then he crossed the line. Well, first he actually took the role of Kingpin, the Kingpin of Hell's Kitchen. He did what no other hero had done before. He took the neighborhood and transformed it into what he deemed it should be. Some thought he went too far. Almost everybody. But then he crossed the line. Fisk was trying to make a deal to try and get his way back into the United States where he had been sent off. And eventually Matt's just furious. He's like, you leave or I'll kill you. And it basically leads to them brawling, fighting. And Matt has kind of lost it. As, yeah, he and Fisk just keep on fighting more and more. And Fisk is just taking punishment. Until finally Daredevil gets the upper hand, knocks him down, and just keeps on bashing his Fisk's head in. Oh, come on. until he's dead. And then he looks at her like, you don't understand. I've tried everything else. You know, all the stuff that Fisk had done before. It even says here, heroes don't kill. This is a line they do not cross. No matter how bad the guy is, no matter how many people he's killed or ordered killed, no matter how many drugs he stole the children, no matter who he stole from or whose life he's ruined, heroes don't kill. And with that, no one ever trusted him ever again. And sure enough, no heroes came to Matt's funeral. They couldn't, not after what happened. Then we end the first issue with apparently there's another Daredevil watching down on him. You know it can't be Matt, he's dead. But Ben decides, all right then, I'll find out who this, who this person is. As we find out things like Black Widow's dead and all that, he can't go ask her. They get great artwork by Janson, with the occasional painted artwork by Bill Sienkiewicz. And a lot of this stuff is just, we have President Wilson, aka Falcon, with his VP being an Osborn. Interesting. But eventually, Ben is told to go out back where he meets up with Nick Fury. S.H.I.E.L.D. has basically been shut down, but he's been working in the underground. And when basically after stuff, bantering and everything, eventually Fury basically said, like, I may get your information, I may not. And then this comes what this series is really known for. You have Ben going first to Milia. That was Matt's wife at one point. Yes, he actually got married. And interesting, a little redheaded son. She's going back and forth saying he wants people dead, alright? But he at least had the decency to tell me that he wanted to be alone. And then eventually Ben says, cute kid. He gets a smack for it. Eventually, now, this is where they're at the funeral. But then, basically, heroes came, but then Ben sees a woman walking off. So he decides to follow her to a soccer game of all things. Until, it's Elektra he was following, and she says, it was the funeral, wasn't it? The first time I let my daughter down in 10 years. Isn't that always the way? She's just basically saying, like, it's very brave of you to come here. You remember me when I had nothing to lose? Imagine what I'm like now. Well, and then he just simply asked her, of course, what is Mapone? So in this cover, Bended as a cop. As, again, such great artwork by Bill Sienkiewicz. Some of his best, if you ask me. Hey, but, basically, she's threatening him. He thinks he's going to stab her, like, she's threatened years ago. And basically saying she has no idea what Mapone is. But no one can tell you about it except Matt Murdock. And then we find out she has a red-haired kid as well, named Matthew. As, basically she's trying to be a mom and basically saying, you come after me, you are dead. Turns out though then she was also faking it was just a finger. But then they leave. Again, another red-headed kid. Then he goes up to meet Mary, formerly Typhoid Mary. And, she's doing a great job acting, and she has twin red-headed kids. And basically she's like, I don't know, I'm not her anymore. I can think of what it's just in the flashbacks. As he's just asking, questions and still getting no answers. But of course, when he asks his, he gets to a point where he's saying, are these his? I don't know. They're hers. As in, Mary conceived the kids and left her completely in the dark on who the father is. Then we also have Echo, who is teaching people, and despite being deaf, she is perfectly good at reading lips. And again, to mom, a red-headed kid. Jesus, man. Basically, again, though, asking questions, leading to another flashback, and still nothing. just a look back on Matt's life and all that. But still, like I said, absolutely no answers until he gets the call saying they found Bullseye. Yep. We're at the halfway mark and still was almost no idea where we've come from. But when they show up, you find Bullseye dead. At first you think like who killed him? It seems to have been a suicide. Again, trying to get answers as we're all giving some focus on Bullseye a bit more until eventually oh yeah, even said he killed himself. The bullet ricocheted, and Ben realizes it. It ricocheted all around because it says he doesn't miss. Eventually, he starts asking questions around. He's trying to basically find where the woman was that was with Bullseye. So he goes to her pimp and eventually convinces her she's dressed up like a lecturer. Of course she is. As it turns out, he had a mental breakdown. He was all like, I'm magic. And then he would say the name Mapone, as he just lost it. Until eventually his last words were, I'm magic. Yeah, as he shoots up. We also focus, I should have pointed out before, on Ben's adopted son, Timmy. As it's just the two of them now, as Timmy's gotten older and he's still a big Matt Murdock fan. Eventually then Ben goes to ask Frank Castle, the Punisher, who Matt had put away, ask him, does he know what Mapone is? That's all I want to know. And also, of course, Frank couldn't be any more happier that Matt lost it. He set him free. As it turns out though, Frank knows who Mapone is, or at least he thinks he does. As it turns out, he believes that after what happened with the Kingpin, he started gathering everything on all of his enemies. Everything. This is where we start to get some answers. But yeah, basically he had every little detailed image. And Matt said it knowing that it would self-destruct and what it is. At least that's what Frank thinks it is. But yeah, it seems though then Ben realizes, you have no idea, do you? As he takes off. But it's also pointed out, he wasn't just out there doing nothing. He was training his disciple, a new Daredevil, a new army, yada yada yada. And then it's later made clear that it looks like oh jeez, Punisher has pain and loss tattooed on his knuckles now. But it looks like things are going crazy as the whole place is on lockdown. And then it just goes from there Ben going around meeting up with other people. I forget who the one guy's name was. What was his name? Just a moment, just blanking right now. Melvin Potter. The guy who would work on Daredevil and other criminals' costumes. Basically has him, what's Mapone? No idea. Gives his own theory of everything. To the point where even Ben leaves a message for Peter Parker, but nothing. We know Peter's still alive. Yeah, he's just, Ben, he's still trying to figure things out. Although Peter does reply and saying, I don't think I can help you. Not anymore. As we're just seeing, Ben still trying to figure things out. Until it's made very clear that Frank has gotten out. He has busted out and yeah. Hold on. Yeah, a villain named Bushwhacker, and then all of a sudden you have another criminal storming in, ready to attack, and knocking Ben right out the window, as it looks like he's about to die. And then he thinks he sees Daredevil. See what I mean? Feels like a lot of nothing is going on. It is just like spinning its wheels, typical Bendis, just pontificating with long prose and everything. But yeah, we get a nice homage to Amazing Fantasy number 15 as this new Daredevil swings off with him. The guy's name was Bullet. The big guy's name was Bullet. As he's knocked out and then he passes out. Then Ben wakes up as Timmy is there at his bedside. And of course, Timmy's showing clear signs that he approves of Daredevil and the killing. Although Ben's like, heroes don't kill. Although then Timmy points out, Bullet shoved you right out of the window and nearly killed you. Yeah. As yeah, even Jonah thinks like, okay, we're all done, we got everything, do it. And Ben's all like, no, come on, seriously. Now here's some of the funny notes that he has. Who is new Daredevil? Former advisor, give him his gym, go to gym. Costume, Melvin, 3 sizes too small. A woman, Echo. Same, Elektra, no. Natasha might have a child, match child, inherited skills. He's trying to figure all this stuff out. Eventually you have him going up to meet with the Owl, trying to get some answers. And the Owl, the only thing the Owl has is he took the mask. That Bullseye had, and then he was able to get it. Not really caring much about anything else. We also have Ben then meet up with the Purple Man. Who, right as he meets up with him, he gets a shot right in the face by Frank. We then go into the penultimate issue. As Ben then goes to the church trying to get some more answers, still nothing. Again, a whole lot of nothing. We never really get many of the other issues, but eventually Ben meets up with someone who's a part of the Hand as Ben's trying to get out of there. He's hurrying out as eventually the Hand now wants to come after him. We then see that yeah, it turns out Matt did have a great database on everything and everyone. But when he's in there, the Hand shows up. But then the new Daredevil comes to help, fighting them off. They make their way out there, and he tells him to, the new Daredevil tells Ben to hide, as he thinks, I'm not ready. I wasn't ready for this. As we get a hail of arrows and everything. But again, he tells him step aside and basically tells him, I'll take care of this. Punisher Frank shows up and is shooting everything down. Everything's going kablooey. They all start fighting off the Hand, and the two of them take him out. But then, after everything's done, Ben was shot by an arrow, and we found out the new Daredevil was Timmy. Yep, and Ben went to go look, and he's dead. All that, everything he's done, and he never got the answer. We go into the last issue, and yeah, basically we find out that Matt had been helping to teach Timmy, but he also tells him that it's been believed that their stick has been reincarnated and that he's still out there. As you have at his funeral, Jonah reads one of his articles about Matt Murdock as his eulogy. We even have Timmy meet up with Peter, who basically says, I can't believe that Jonah is outliving us all. I know that feeling. Punisher comes up to him, basically tells him, don't waste this. Again, Timmy's just reacting to all this. To the death of his father, what his father was trying to figure out, etc., etc. I do like Frank hanging up Matt's mask next to his father's old mask and old hood. Or no, his boxing gloves, sorry. Then eventually Timmy goes to a bar where you see this woman with shade. He meets up with Peter. They just talk a little bit. He was trying to figure out what Mapone is. And all that. Then Peter has to run off. And then he's given a message told to go around back. And again, this woman we're giving a bit emphasis on. He meets up with Fury, who gives Timmy everything he knew about Mapone. Of course he's like, you had this the whole time. It's not like that. Clearly you're upset. He throws the files right into the fire and leaves, telling him, basically go to hell. Fury tries to tell them the mask comes with a price. And then the woman, he goes inside. The woman is about ready to get her, get it threatened. because they think she's cheating. Apparently she's blind. Timmy then decides to join in, and then she takes them all, and it turns out the woman takes them all down. They head on out, and yeah, it turns out though when they were saying you were hustling, yeah, she was. But yeah, she's blind, and she says, my mom says it's the only thing my daddy ever gave me, but that makes no sense. I was born this way. And good Lord, do I have my work cut out with you. Work? You can't go running up and down the street just like that unless you figure out how you can take this all to the next level. You're cute, I know. And basically they head off, and he says, and Tim, and she says, Mapone Romanov. But everyone calls me Stick. Don't ask me why. Long story. To find out Mapone, yep, was Black Widow's and Matt's daughter. So that's a pretty depressing story that basically everything Matt did amounted to nothing. The world of all became like Hell's Kitchen, where it's all gone to hell. Ben basically died for nothing. The whole Mapone thing was just a red herring for Timmy to get take everything. And also everyone waited all this time for these 8 issues for a story that in the end amounted to Matt died, and to the depression that Matt died. He probably fathered a whole lot of children, and now things are going to continue forward. No sign of improvement. Yep. That is how Brian Michael Bendis saw the last story for Daredevil. And to be honest, the way so many writers want to handle Matt, I'll be honest, it's probably the only way it would have ended, to be fair. But that being said, I really liked it. I thought the artwork, the writing was still strong, if pontificating way too much with purple prose. I thought that Janson and Sienkiewicz's artwork were very good, and that's pretty much all else I can say, really. It is very good, just like a lot of those Alternaverse books. It's nowhere near as depressing, but it's up there. And I gotta say though, for what it is, it felt more like a send off to everything about Daredevil, more so than it was like, oh, this was his last stand, did we open up with it? So, yeah. Now originally, Bendis was also going to do a Punisher End of Days, given how long it took for him to get this one out of the way. I'm not surprised they got canceled. Seriously, what would he would have done? We already have a Punisher The End, and we have the Punisher Max stuff, which closed out that era of Punisher. So I don't know what Bendis could have done that would have been in Ennis's territory anyway. So, that's all I really got to say on this one. I'm going to start leading into then the X-Men The End next. So that's going to be 3 trades, 3 separate episodes. So until then, I'll catch you guys later.